Hi, so today I'm going to discuss one of the richest countries in Africa with the most mineral wealth. And I know, you're already thinking about Congo. And one thing you're forgetting is that when it comes to mineral wealth, there's nothing like borders. So neighboring countries to Congo have the same minerals found inside Congo. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a deep dive into the vast mineral wealth of Angola, a country located in the southwestern Africa. So the country of Angola has a rich history and culture, and its natural resources have played a significant role in shaping its economy and development. From diamonds to oil, Angola has a diverse range of minerals that have attracted attention from investors and companies around the world. Now, let's discuss how rich this country is by taking a closer look at its mineral wealth. Let's start with diamonds, which is arguably Angola's most well-known minerals. And if you've never heard about Angola and diamonds, this country produced the largest pink diamonds in 300 years, one of the largest in the world. Diamonds have been found in Angola for centuries, and the country has a long history of diamond mining. However, large-scale diamond mining in Angola began in the 1920s, and this is the time when deposits of the diamond gemstone were discovered in the country's alluvial mines. And what happened is that villagers would pick diamonds from riverbanks, from the surface, without much work in finding them. The Portuguese quickly built a mining industry around these diamonds and using forced labor from the locals. This would be in future proved to be one of the reasons why the Portuguese didn't want to leave Angola, because this country got their independence very late in 1975, almost 20 years after Ghana got theirs. And even after that independence, they quickly plunged into a civil war. The diamond industry in Angola has been linked to the country's long-running civil war, which lasted from 1975 to 2002. And during this civil war, diamonds were used to finance weapon purchases by various armed groups, including the government and the rebel forces. And this is where we got the term blood diamonds. Of course, most people think it came from Sierra Leone. So it came from Angola. The country has a number of diamond mines, and it is one of the top 5 diamond producing countries in the world. Angola's diamond industry has had its ups and downs over the years, but it remains an important part of the country's economy. Diamonds are a major export for Angola, and they have helped to generate revenue for the government and create jobs for the local people. The other key mineral resource in Angola, which is probably the most or the primary key resource for this country, is oil. And oil industry in Angola is centered around offshore drilling in the Atlantic Ocean, with a significant portion of the country's oil reserves located in the deep water fields. The majority of Angola's oil production comes from just 4 offshore fields, which are Cabinda, Quito, Malongo, and Dussafu. These fields are operated by a combination of international oil companies and the state-owned oil company Sonangol. So, oil as a natural resource is a vital part of Angola's economy, accounting for a significant portion of the country's GDP and government revenue. According to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, the oil sector accounted for more than 90% of Angola's export and nearly 60% of the country's government revenue in the year 2020. So you can imagine, oil is a very big part of this country. Also, what that means is that Angola is the second largest oil producing country in Africa, after Nigeria of course, and it's among the top 20 oil producing countries in the world, in the same group with Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Indonesia, and it's up there among the top 20 largest oil producing countries. However, this reliance on oil has also made Angola's economy vulnerable to fluctuations in oil prices. When oil prices are low, it can have a negative impact on the country's economy and its ability to fund public spending. And it has happened once before. For example, in 2020, during the lockdowns, when the international crude oil demand went down, the Angolan economy tanked. It performed poorly. So I hope they learned from that, and in future they're going to diversify their economy so that they do not face the same obstacles. And speaking of diversification, everywhere you look, this country has massive potential for almost everything. I mean, there are vast lands for agricultural production. They have thick untapped natural forests for logging industry, which I'm not advocating for, by the way. But this country has always been wealthy. They have always been rich. It's like Angola from the start, have always been this wealthy African country. For example, Angola has a long history of copper mining, and it was once a top producer of the metal. These copper deposits are found in the province of Huambo, which is in the middle of that country. But after the civil war, the country has not gone back to copper production because of the obvious reasons, lack of financing for that sector. But the country has other deposits. It can even rival the known top producer of copper in Africa, that is Zambia. And then we have gold. Gold is also another deposit or resource found in Angola in large quantities. And then there is iron ore, which is also a mineral found in large quantity in Angola, with deposits located in the provinces of Kwanza Norte and Kwanza Sur. And this iron ore sector in Angola is in the early stages of development, and there are plans to increase production in the future. The main iron ore deposits in Angola are located in Kasinga and Jamba, and the Kasinga deposits are estimated to contain over 500 million tons of iron ore, or half a billion tons of iron ore. The Jamba deposits are located in Kwanza Sur and also estimated to contain over 200 million tons of iron ore. So this sector is currently being developed by a number of companies, and it has great potential to make this country a top exporter of iron ore. I can spend hours and hours talking about how rich and wealthy Angola is, which is obvious. This country, if you look at the geographical location, is located just next to Congo, so they share a lot of similarities when it comes to natural resources. But unlike Congo, the country is stable. You got political stability in 2002, while Congo is not. Again, Congo has a population of 100 million people. Angola has a tiny population of that 3 million people, but they're still facing colonial legacies because they are continuing the same industries that the colonizers were exploiting, that is crude oil and diamonds. They have failed to diversify, but this can be blamed on the previous regime of Dos Santos and his daughter. These were people who were working in cohorts with the colonizers, looting mineral wealth from Angola and stuffing this wealth into to Portugal, to Lisbon, buying properties all over Europe. But that is changing because the current president has been hard on corruption, and this has seen a lot of development in Angola. We have seen housing development for people in low income. We also have seen jobs being created for people, so unemployment rate in Angola is reducing, and better people are getting jobs basically. And the other thing is that they need to diversify away from crude oil. They need to go after copper. They need to go into agriculture. They need to also do a lot of things with what they have in natural resources. And despite all that obstacle and shortcomings, Angola is among the top 5 largest GDPs on the African continent, and they have been only active for the last 20 years after the end of the civil war. So in the next coming 20 years, we expect Angola to improve and take advantage of their natural resource. So if you're from Angola, or you have been to Angola, or you want to ask anything about this country, kindly go to the comment section and let us know.